All right, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with the newest champion entering MCOC. We have Titania. So, she is a science champion, hashtag large, hashtag a villain, and in this video today, we're going to be breaking down what she does, how to use her, and what she could potentially be viable for in MCOC. So, let's jump right in. All right, so Titania, she is immune to buffs because she doesn't need your help, as it says right there. She also has a little tiny, teensy bit of physical resistance. That's definitely very nice. So her sig ability is definitely nice to have, not entirely necessary, but the first line specifically is very nice to have because we'll touch on that later. But my favorite thing about her is the haymakers. So when you perform a dash, a second medium, or a heavy attack, they're going to go passively indestructible, unstoppable, and unblockable for 4 seconds, and it has a 30-second cooldown. Now that might seem long, but in reality, it's not, because every time you place a debuff on the defender, you're going to reduce the cooldown by 1 second. And you place debuffs every time you do a light attack, or special attack, or heavy attack, or special 2, even special 3 has a bunch of them, and resets the entire thing, right? So let's just touch on it now. That's why I said the sig ability is nice to have, but certainly not necessary at all. All right, so the heavy attack puts a stagger on the first hit. Light attack puts suppression on. All of her debuffs can be inflicted through the block, which is definitely cool. The special 1 puts on a non-stacking debilitate debuff, extending the duration of any new debuffs by 50% for 30 seconds. And both the special 1 and 2 put on weakness debuffs for every hit. And the special 2 puts on a physical vulnerability debuff for 20 seconds. But that's refreshed every single time you put on 4 suppression debuffs. So if you do 4 light hits in a row, right, you're going to be refreshing that. That's one reason why I don't like going for the special 1 for the debilitate debuff, because I feel like it's not entirely necessary to extend the duration of the 20-second refreshable physical vulnerability. The special 3, right, immediately puts the haymakers back with plus 50% duration and ignores the cooldown, so if they're on cooldown, doesn't matter, and then flicks almost every debuff in the entire game, but we'll get more to that when we actually do a rotation showcase, okay? But one thing about that is that it immediately puts the haymakers back, puts on all of those debuffs, and for the haymaker, where is it? Over here. While these effects are active, each hit deals a burst of 142 physical damage for each debuff on the opponent. It's not crazy, but it's a little bit of extra additional burst damage, which is definitely cool to have, okay? But let's start jumping into some rotation showcases today. Now, there are a few ways you can play her. I'm going to be showing you 2 different rotations, but we're going to start off at like a battleground / alliance war type health pool, okay? So this is going to be the dead pool in 6.4.1 that we always go to, right? So this is about 160,000 health. That's about like where you're going to be seeing battlegrounds and most alliance war health pools outside of mini bosses and whatnot, all right? So one thing I like to do, and some people might not like this in the beginning, this type of rotation in the beginning, but I love to trigger haymaker right away and just start with a heavy attack. Watch this, beautiful, right away. I like to go in medium, light, medium, and I just go right again, light attack, right? So if it all works out, you're going to be indestructible, you're going to be unstoppable, unblockable that entire time, right? So that's really fun. I like to play super duper aggressively with her. As you can see, haymaker is almost back, okay? We're going to go for a heavy attack here to trigger the haymaker, all right? Going to go right into a special 2, and then we have our physical vulnerability on Deadpool. We're going to go right in again, okay? We're going to go for a special 1 now. Just stay super aggressive. Here comes the special 2 from Deadpool. We're going to go right back in, and he's almost dead. As you can see, our Furies are piling up very high. 34 Furies for that. Not too bad. We got through that in about 40 seconds or so. So that's definitely very decent damage output, especially while not running suicides. And in my opinion, I feel like she's very suicide friendly, because if you do play her properly, you can be throwing the special 2 or the special 1, whatever you choose to do in the matchup that you need, while the indestructible is active, so you can pretty much mitigate the recoil damage from the suicide masteries, which is nice. Also, not even to mention, you're going to be healing from the poison as well. So that's another reason why I like to start with the heavy attack if you do run suicides, right? Because it's going to be healing from the bleed and the poison, right? Not going to be taking that damage, which is nice. So now what if you had like, if you're doing like end game content or like Eternity of Pain, you have something for it, right? Or like where the health pools are just higher, or a boss or something, right? So I'm sick of Winter Soldier. I'm sick of it. So I found this Gladiator Hulk, and it's an Act 7. So the nodes here are Brute Force, Colorblind, and Skill Wrath. So it's almost as like there's no nodes whatsoever aside from Brute Force, right? One thing though is Star Power. So 6-star attackers have their attack rating permanently increased by 700. Just keep in mind that the attack is going to be like a little bit higher than you're going to be seeing in like Alliance War or like casual questing or Battlegrounds or something like that, right? Also, Gladiator Hulk is an extra large defender, so we're going to be having our Fury potency increased by quite a bit. However, I do think that going forward for endgame content, because this is really more of like an endgame content rotation in my opinion, I think that Star Power node is going to continue. We'll have to see. But anyway, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go for the Special 3 rotation, which is definitely, excuse me, it's definitely very cool, right? So, same kind of start. We're going to go for the heavy attack, right? Right away, bam! All right, we're going to go in medium, bam! We're going to go in light attack. He dashed back, but it's fine because we were indestructible, we were unstoppable, super duper fun, right? So yeah, I like to go super aggressive because it just builds up your power faster. You get hit while indestructible, it doesn't really matter, you're going to build up power. Here, we're going to go for a special 2 while unblockable. You'll love to see it, okay? Now, keep in mind though, this playstyle is super fun, but I don't know if I'd want to do it in like Alliance War, depending on the defender and other stuff, right? And I'll show you why in like 1 second here, okay? So we're going to build back up to the Haymakers once more. I'm going to be building towards a special 3, getting ready to launch that bad boy, okay? But watch what happens once I trigger the Haymaker right here. Going to go for a heavy attack. Bam, I got stunned, but it's okay because we have a 4-second indestructible, right? We're going to be able to go in and still take advantage of that indestructible passive, which is definitely nice. Now at this point, Gladiator Hulk has about 400,000 health here, down to 38% health. I want to bait out his special attack, so he's kind of low on power. And now we're going to go for the special 3, and we're going to get every debuff in the entire game on Gladiator Hulk, okay? Now when that happens, check it out, all right? The important thing to note here, there are lots of debuffs, but the important debuffs are Intimidate and also Falter. So why is that important? Because Intimidate is going to make them kind of turtle up, it's going to make them like kind of scared, and Falter is going to give you a safety net in case they don't want to do that. Now you also have an additional safety net, and that's your Indestructible and Haymakers and everything, right? So you have that safety net plus the safety net of the Falter plus the soft safety net of the Intimidate. So you're very safe to go in here and go for just heavy attack chaining. And the reason why I want to do that is you see double debuff, we're going to stack up some more debuffs. What that is going to actually do is place additional Fury passives on us. And what that is going to do is going to put more of the burst damage from the Haymaker as well while they last. Now the Haymaker doubles the debuffs while it's active, the stackable debuffs, okay? So at this point, we're going to be chaining heavy attacks in the corner while the Haymakers last, and as you can see, he really is nowhere near a special 3. At this point, we would have backed... What happened? Where'd we go? Hello. At this point, we would have backed off and like bait out a special 2 and maybe repeat the process, right? So for me, if we have like a 400,000 health pool, give or take, that's without suicides, right? Without synergies. That's like, I feel like I feel comfortable ending the fights with special 3s with that size health pool. A little bit higher health pool, maybe with suicides on, maybe with some synergies on, right? But if they don't die, just back off, go for a special 2 again, go for a special 1 again, that's totally fine. So that's personally the 2 ways that I like to play her, depending on the situation. You really can't go wrong with the rotation that you want to do. You can go for more special 1s if you want. I personally see more value with the physical vulnerability on the special 2, and I really enjoy the special 3 rotation. That's the way I enjoy playing her. I have the most fun. But I just really enjoy just like going right in like a charging bull, man. That's why I like Rintra so much, because he's a bull. No, you know, just like I like the Haymakers taking advantage of the recklessness. Like I said, I might not enjoy that in like Alliance War and like important content, you know, where you have to play more safe. But for like casual questing, for endgame content, possibly even for Battlegrounds when you want to go fast, I do enjoy the reckless playstyle and the safety net of the Haymakers. So let's talk about some utility that she has where she could potentially be viable. Obviously, she's immune to buffs. She doesn't need your help. So that could be good for Buffet, for Power Snack. That could be good for Mystic Defenders who punish buffs, like Mojo, Man-Thing, other ones as well, Ebony Maw, right? That's going to be really good for that kind of stuff, no doubt about it. Spite, completely turned off, right? So, Haymakers. These are interesting when it comes to utility. We're going to check out a fight really quick, okay? And this is going to be the 6.3 Hyperion that everyone was fighting that time with the craziest power gain ever. Now, there's going to be a lot of recklessness in this fight. I only did it the one time because I wanted to go in one time and I wanted to just say, all right, let's see how she does going in, if it's reliable or not, because I don't really know. And I have mixed feelings about it, if it's reliable or not. And I feel like you're going to agree, okay? So first things first, we got one thing going on. We got the stagger on the heavy attack is going to be removing a lot of his power gain buffs. Obviously, that's a nice piece of utility for certain things. If you're knocking down a defender that's going to be getting a buff when they get knocked down, it's going to eat the buff or something like that. It's going to eat the effect. That's why the stagger on the first hit of the heavy attack, when it knocks it down the second hit, it's definitely nice, right? But yeah, because he didn't have enough debuffs, she needed staggers too, right? But basically, what I'm going to be doing here is trying to use the haymakers to protect myself from the power gain. Now, I feel like the main thing to note here is like, well, there's probably just better options for this, and I definitely agree with that for sure, but let's see how it does. I'm going for the special one here because we're going to be stacking up lots of debuffs, and that's why I'm going for the specials. Now here, special one, bam, haymaker ready, he's down, charge heavy right away. There he goes. Now, a couple of things could have happened here. Hyperion could have not used the special attack for 4 seconds, and the haymakers could have went away. This time it worked out, okay? So, now we get to go in, and as you can see, the special 3 does not remove the haymaker, and I can do this as many times as I want, okay? Now, it's not 100% reliable, though, because now I'm going to have to build back up to get this cooldown gone, but Hyperion's already back at a special 3. Now, luckily, I got a stand-up intercept right here. All right, I'm going to go for a heavy attack right away. He held his block a little bit. Now he's going for a special 3 again. So, the first cycle through, it felt safe, it felt good, it felt reliable. But this time, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like nice to have, like if you're in a situation where it's like, oh my god, I accidentally pushed them to a special 3, what am I going to do? Well, you have your haymaker that you can potentially trigger if you have it ready to go, all right? At this point, I went for a special 3 and he died, just boom, there we go, okay? So yeah, another thing about it is like if there's like a tough special attack, like Mangog's special 2, right? You can kind of just like dash into it and you have 4 seconds of indestructible and 4 seconds of unstoppable. So that's definitely nice if there's like a really tough special that you're not good at dexing or you don't want to take the block damage, right? That's one good way to use the haymaker, right? Obviously, so many debuffs for days, stuff like distract, other things that you want to like, or you need debuffs for it to be effective on, like Act 7 Paradox, stupid nodes like that, right? She's going to be fine for that. Weakness debuffs on special 1 and 2, good for like the weakest link. And what's that stupid node? The one where you need the weakness or else you do no damage. Oh my god, what's yours is mine? That's the other one, right? Yeah, so she definitely has some practical utility. Does she have utility that you don't have in your roster? That is absolutely up for you to figure out. I don't think she's going to be like breaking the meta anytime soon. I don't think she's going to be like completely game-changing in MCOC. As always, I never ever recommend spending any money on Cavs because they're absolute BS hot garbo, and you probably will not get her or anything else good. And also, they have the guaranteed 5-star champion in the bundle now, but unless you're like still using lots of 5 stars, I would not recommend paying out of pocket for that unless you absolutely 100 million billion% can afford it and you won't even realize the money is leaving your account. So as always, Cavs are bad value in my opinion. But she has a couple of interesting synergies as well. Here with She-Hulk, start each fight with 10 Fury passives and Fury effects, gain plus 25% duration. So that's a decent synergy for She-Hulk as well, by the way. It gets additional burst damage, which is nice. But if you pair this with Titania, She-Hulk, and Mr. Fantastic, you're going to be getting the Power Sting synergy, which is definitely going to be nice with all those debuffs and the passive Furies. Going to be doing a bunch of damage. That could definitely be a potentially good trio for the future. Stuff like Alliance War, who knows? We're going to have to see how the game shifts and evolves, and she's going to actually be good for that, right? This one down here with the champion I really like as well. Intercepting the opponent pauses her Fury passes for 2 seconds and reduces Haymaker's cooldown by 5 seconds. I think you could see why that would be good, keeping those Furies paused, reducing the duration of the Haymaker cooldown, going to make her indestructible, unstoppable, unblockable longer, or more often, right? It's going to keep her Furies higher, make her hitting harder. But yeah, man, Titania is pretty cool. So if the cadence of the 6-star featured champion stays the same, that means that she is going to be the 6th member of the next featured 6-star, and then Infamous Iron Man will be the first one and the next one unless something is changed. I doubt it changes. It's been the same for like 3 years now, right? So yeah, I think we can assume that the next featured is going to be Wiccan, Valkyrie, Gore, Quicksilver, Gallon, and Titania. That's going to be the next 6, which is a pretty cool pool. But yeah, man, that's pretty much everything you need to know about Titania. That's how to use her, what she can do, what she could potentially be good for. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you like her? Do you not like her? Do you think this is going to be another Red Goblin's Cosmic Ghost Rider month? If you know, then you know. But yeah, man, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a much deeper analysis on her and what she could do and showcasing everything, go check out the deep dive for Titania, right? But that's it for this one. Yeah, I'll be seeing you around.